From WBKO, your hometown news leader, this is 13 News at 10.
Changes to those on unemployment coming into effect today. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Brandon Jarrett. Work search requirements for people on unemployment insurance will be reinstated starting today. Grayson Passmore has the details.
It seemed better times were ahead for bar and restaurant owners as COVID restrictions began to lift. But as more guests are allowed in, there may not be enough employees to wait on them.
Arguably, with the period we're going through right now, that's the most challenging period that I'm certainly familiar with since I've been in business.
Director of Operations at Lex Live, Bruce Wren, says they do weekly job fairs to try and hire more people, but says the employee shortage is affecting businesses across the state.
I'm not surprised to see it continue to be an issue. I think as conditions continue to change, that'll still be a challenge.
The newest change, work search requirements for people on unemployment insurance will be reinstated starting Sunday.
But we'll have to see long-term what the impact is. We're staying focused on the day-to-day here.
Anyone on UI will be required to search for work as they did before the pandemic and report at least one job contact per week. This includes the job title, who you contacted, and the name of the employer.
The number one thing I'm hearing from employers right now is they got jobs. They're ready. They're raising their pay. So folks, get vaccinated, and a career is waiting for you out there.
Governor Andy Beshear's office says if you're on UI, you will have to seek full-time work, even if you're currently working part-time.
You get that vaccine, you're safe. Kids are back in school. Daycare is open again, and childcare now is the time. With our economy taking off, we want you to be a part of this.
Now to the latest on COVID-19. Today, Kentucky's coronavirus numbers show we have 195 new cases in the Commonwealth for a total of over 448,000 statewide. Beshear says to date, 1.8 million Kentuckians have received at least their first dose of the coronavirus vaccine, and our positivity rate is currently at 3.28%.
I hope that next Mother's Day we're going to see a dramatic difference than what we're seeing right now. I believe that we will be about as close to back to normal as we can.
Positive news in the battle against coronavirus here in the states. The numbers keep going down and states keep reopening. And as more people travel this Mother's Day to visit many mothers for the first time in a while, challenges still lay on the vaccine front. ABC's Faith Abube has the latest on what will happen this week, plus the growing problem in India.
A new record in air travel. For the first time since the pandemic began, the TSA says passenger volume topped 1.7 million people in a single day last Friday, compared to 200,000 the same time last year. At Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, America's busiest, travelers encountering long lines.
So glad you came.
Further west, at LAX, these people paying a surprise visit to mom.
I could have come back later, but I wanted to be back for Mother's Day.
And as more people get vaccinated, the focus shifting. This week, the FDA is expected to announce emergency use authorization for Pfizer's vaccine for kids aged 12 to 15.
And we want to be able to open up the high schools and the middle schools in the September timeline. This is the way to get started on that ahead of time and have everybody in a safer space.
Across the country, states preparing for the rollout. In Florida, 2 counties planning to create vaccination sites at their schools. But as the numbers improve in the U.S., in India, they are rising. On Sunday, the country reported more than 400,000 new COVID cases, including more than 4,000 deaths. Numbers experts believe are significantly underreported. For many, their grief turning to anger. This man in New Delhi telling ABC's Maggie Rulli his mother died just hours after he finally found her a hospital bed.
Then the medical system has suddenly collapsed. This is the failure of the government. They should be taking care of each and every sort of patient.
The U.S. and several countries sending aid to get the virus under control, as only a fraction of the country's billion-plus population has been fully vaccinated. Faith Abube, ABC News.
Well, it was a soggy Mother's Day out there today. Brandon, did you have to stay indoors with your mom?
Well, I planned ahead, Raquel. I sent my mom a message on Facebook. I also sent her a card about a week before. But yeah, like you said, I'm sure that a lot of mothers were really just trying to figure out how to plan things, and a lot of families with their mothers trying to plan things outdoors during the rainy weather we had today.
Well, that's great to hear that you stayed indoors. My mom is currently watching, and I just want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. But looking ahead, we are drying out, as we can see on radar. Mostly cloudy conditions. A lot of the rain is staying south and east of us. Thankfully, we're looking at a dry start to next week. But right now, temperature at the Bowling Green Airport is 55 degrees. Winds are calm out of the north at 7 miles per hour. We're all across the 50s right now in south central Kentucky. 54 in Bowling Green, 53 in Glasgow, and 52 in Russellville. And over the next several hours, we're going to dip into those mid 40s by our early morning tomorrow. Overall, sunshine is in the forecast. Brandon.
Raquel, the Kids Club in Bowling Green provides hospital-grade care to children who are medically complex, and they have remained open throughout the pandemic. 13 News reporter Allison Baker stopped by to meet some special friends who will put a smile on your face.
So the Kids Club is something that is not found all too often in a lot of states in the United States. So Kentucky is on the cutting edge. We have PPEC regulations, so that prescribes pediatric extended care. That's what the Kids Club is. So essentially means we're a medical facility, and we provide daily skilled nursing care for kiddos from birth to 21. And so each of them have a medical diagnosis that requires skilled nursing care.
The Kids Club is celebrating 25 years in Kentucky, and the Bowling Green location has been open for the last 5 years, and it's the only facility of its kind in South Central Kentucky.
So all of our kiddos, the medical diagnoses, they could have a ventilator, have a trach, have a feeding tube, spina bifida, Down syndrome. It's such a wide variety of diagnoses. So they're getting that care here just essentially as they would be getting in the hospital. So a lot of our families, once they're discharged from the hospital, they're discharged into our care, and we're kind of that stepstone in helping with the continuity of care.
Throughout COVID, their doors remained open because they were deemed essential due to being a medical facility.
So being open throughout the pandemic really did allow a lot of our families to thrive in a very tough situation in the world, because if they're having to stay at home with their child and can't work because they can't find anyone else. So it was really very fortunate, because we're a medical facility, that we were able to stay open and provide those services. Because if you have a child that has, a trach or a G-tube, they just can't go to a typical daycare or to someone's house for care.
The Kids Club also has transportation available for all of their friends for pickup and drop-off. Reporting in Bowling Green, Allison Baker, WBKO News.
To learn more about the Kids Club, visit the store on our website, WBKO.com. Next on 13 News at 10, the latest on the investigation of the Kentucky Derby winner. Plus, a cyber attack on a U.S. refinery that could have you paying more at the pump.
You're watching 13 News at 10.
Watch WBKO on all your streaming devices. Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. Staying with you however you stream.
Download the 13 First Alert Weather app for instant updates.
Well, drama surrounds the Kentucky Derby winner. Could Medina Spirit be taken down? Ken Taylor reports from Churchill Downs on the latest.
Yesterday, I got the biggest gut punch in racing for something that I didn't do.
1 week after celebrating his record 7th Kentucky Derby win, Hall of Fame trainer Bob Baffert is in a stretch duel to keep that trophy.
Medina Spirit, our Derby horse, had been tested positive for 21 picograms of betamethasone. And all I can tell you is that betamethasone, even though it's an allowed drug, therapeutic medication, we did not give it. My veterinarian, nobody here, that matter of fact, Medina Spirit has never been treated with betamethasone.
The sample taken after the Derby tested positive for just over twice the allowed limit of the drug.
It's a complete injustice, and but I'm gonna fight it tooth and nails, because this horse, I owe it to the horse, I owe it to the owner, and I owe it to our industry. I don't feel embarrassed. I feel like I was wronged.
What does this mean for the Kentucky Derby result?
First of all, he's not disqualified yet. We have to go through the process. We have to do a DNA sample. Was it him? Something's not right here. Something's just not right. It's not a disqualification until the split sample comes. It's not official till the split sample comes, and that's part of the process. We haven't even got to that yet.
A disqualification would move up. Second place finisher Mandaloun, trained by Louisville native Brad Cox.
Well, it's definitely not the way you want to win a race, period, let alone the Kentucky Derby. So, look, there's a lot of legal matters. I'm sure it's going to, or a process, we have to go through. So, it's a long way from being over with for sure. But, we'll see how things play out over the next few months or few years. I don't know how long this will take.
Mandaloun will not run in the Preakness Stakes on Saturday, but Medina Spirit is scheduled to leave Churchill Downs for Baltimore on Monday afternoon.
And here locally, 13 News reached out to Kentucky Downs, and they want to let their patrons who placed a bet on the winning horse, Medina Spirit, know that at this time you can still cash in your winning tickets.
Well, if you have any fishing or hunting plans, the best time to do that's going to be at your 8:20 p.m. tomorrow. We hit a high of 71 and a low of 55. However, we're not going to stay this mild as cooler temperatures are on the way next week.
First Alert Weather, sponsored by MedCenter Health.
Raquel, we're going to stay dry for the next week, but I know that one thing everyone's going to be thinking of when they see your 7-day is where's the warm weather?
Oh yeah, well, the warm weather is not going to come without a price. We are looking at cooler temperatures ahead, especially as this cold front moved out of the way and left with it a lot of these colder temperatures that we're going to see this week. So overall, we're clearing out tonight, finally a break from the rain. And definitely cooler temperatures to start the week, but that comes with dry conditions as well, as we do see dryness as we progress throughout the week. Right now, mostly cloudy skies over south central Kentucky. A lot of the action that we saw today is south and east of us. They saw most of the more moderate to heavy pockets of rain. Thankfully, we only got a few thunderstorms. Right now at the Bowling Green Airport, it's 55 degrees. Winds out of the north at 7 miles per hour. Overall, staying dry tonight, thankfully, as we do have some flooding going on in the Green River. Burkesville, you're at 57 degrees, mostly cloudy conditions there, but staying dry today. Greenville, you're at 50 degrees, a beautiful night to be out and about, and 52 degrees for you guys in Munfordville. We woke up quite chilly, temperatures in the mid-50s, 55 degrees here in Bowling Green, 54 in Louisville, and 52 in Lexington, but thankfully we warmed up. We're quite mild right now. Temperatures in the lower 70s was our high, 71 degrees here in Bowling Green, 69 in Louisville, and 68 in Lexington. We didn't stay that warm as the sun has set, allowing for those cooler temperatures to set in. 55 degrees right now in Bowling Green, 57 in Nashville, and 61 in Crossville. Now, as I mentioned before, we do have more of the rain staying south and east of us, riding along the cold front that we can see right here. We have this low pressure system, and that's kicking the rain out of our way. We're going to be dominated by high pressure, which is going to bring these clear skies and dry conditions ahead. So let me time these conditions out for you by Sunday night, which is tonight. We'll be in those upper 40s, mostly cloudy conditions. Most of the rain is going to stay to the east of us, but by Monday morning, we'll be mostly cloudy. Temperatures in the mid-40s, but we stay dry throughout Monday. Lunchtime, we'll warm up to the lower 60s, staying cool overall as winds come from the northeast, keeping us cool. We'll cool down to the mid-50s, 57 degrees by Monday night, and by Tuesday, we'll cool down to the upper 40s and lower 50s, 53 degrees by Tuesday morning. And by Tuesday around your lunchtime, we'll warm up to the mid-60s. Overall, looking like a quiet week ahead. And for your hour-by-hour forecast, we'll wake up to temperatures in the upper 40s, and by lunchtime, we'll be in the mid-50s. Overall, it's looking like a great Monday ahead. Nothing like what we were seeing today. So if you have to make up for those Mother's Day plans today and tomorrow, will be the best time to do that. And for the Bowling Green Hot Rods opening day, temperatures will be in the mid 60s by Wednesday will be dry again, mostly sunny skies, and by Thursday we might see some pop-up showers here and there, but overall we're not expecting a complete washout. And by Friday we'll start flirting with those lower 70s, mostly sunny skies. And by Saturday we have a high of 73 and a low of 52. Sunday we can't rule out the possibility for an isolated thunderstorm. That's what we're tracking right now, but overall it's looking like a wonderful warming trend that I talked to you about, Brandon. A high of 78 there. Know the weather by downloading the First Alert weather app on any iPhone or Android device.
Raquel, now to the latest on that cyber attack that forced the shutdown of a major gas pipeline here in the U.S. Nearly half the fuel consumed on the East Coast affected, and this evening U.S. officials are speaking out. ABC's Elwin Lopez on how this could affect your wallet.
One of the nation's largest pipelines remains shut down following a ransomware attack. The Colonial Pipeline supplies 45% of fuel to the East Coast. Its 5,500-mile network carries gas, diesel, and jet fuel from Texas to New Jersey. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo telling Face the Nation the Biden administration is working quickly to get things back to normal.
It's an all-hands-on-deck effort right now, and we are working closely with the company, state and local officials to, make sure that they get back up to normal operations as quickly as possible and there aren't disruptions in supply.
The company says it proactively took certain systems offline to contain the threat, temporarily halting all of the pipeline's operations. Experts warn the shutdown could affect the price of gas.
It's crucial to have this pipeline in service. If it drags on beyond, say, 3 or 4 days, we may start to see some supply challenges.
Last December, SolarWinds, a company that provides software to the government and Fortune 500 companies, suffered a massive software breach. That breach reportedly exposing government agency emails. And in February, investigators say someone took control of the computer systems at a water treatment facility. Cybersecurity experts add these types of attacks are here to stay.
It's really, really important that we heed these warnings, that these attacks are not going away. We're going to see more of them. It's only a matter of time before we see some sort of significant disruption to our daily lives from a cyber attack.
Elwin Lopez, ABC News, Atlanta.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Exmark and Drake's Farm Service, Morgantown.
As you heard from Brendan earlier in the show, a week after winning the 147th Kentucky Derby, Hall of Fame trainer Bob Baffert has been banned by Churchill Downs. Now, Baffert is also in danger of being stripped of his record 7th Kentucky Derby win after Medina Spirit failed a post-race blood test. A split sample will be taken and a final decision will be made once that sample comes in. Baffert met with the media this morning and claims he's not the problem.
Why is it happening, to me? There's problems in racing, but it's not Bob Baffert.
If Medina Spirit is disqualified, Brad Cox's Mandalone will be declared the winner. Cox has already said that Mandalone will not race in Saturday's Preakness Stakes. However, Baffert still does plan to run Medina Spirit in the Preakness. Playoff softball, anyone? After a strong regular season from WKU softball, their team has earned the number 4 seed in the CUSA tournament this week. Now, the Tops will have home field advantage throughout these playoffs. It's the first time since 2014 the host has made the field. The 4-day, 8-team tournament utilizes both single and double elimination formats. Wednesday's first round will be single elimination for competing teams, while the quarterfinals and semifinals are set up for double elimination play. As the number 4 seed, WKU earned a first round bye and will play the winner of UTSA versus Middle Tennessee at 5 p.m. on Wednesday. Now, the Hot Rods were looking to end their series against Greenville in the right direction today, but they took the wrong turn, falling to the drive 15-6. The pitching followed suit yesterday as Bowling Green let up 11 hits, including 4 home runs. Despite the loss, the Hot Rods was still hitting hot. Jackson McGowan hit a long homer over the Green Monster and off the brick building for his second grand slam of the series. The Hot Rods will be back in BG Tuesday for their home opener against the Taurus. UK basketball struggled last season. It's the first year I'm not enrolled at UK, and they don't make the big dance. Coincidence? You know what? Maybe. So head coach John Calipari is shaking things up a bit. Orlando Antigua and Ronald Chin Williams have joined the Kentucky staff as assistants, coming over from Illinois. Of course, Antigua was on the staff when Cal first took over the UK program and was a part of the 2012 national championship team. Antigua played a key role when it came to recruiting, and now he says it's easy to recruit players to Kentucky.
When you have a Hall of Fame coach that you can go out and talk about, when you have a program with the history and the success that we have here at Kentucky, those are all great things to talk about to kids and families, and you talk about the educational part of it.
And we're used to seeing Seattle Seahawks DK Metcalf catching touchdowns, but today he stepped off the gridiron and onto the track and field scene. Metcalf ran in the USATF Golden Games today in the men's 100-meter event. Metcalf had lane 2 in his race. He finished last in his heat and did not qualify for the final, but he impressed with his performance, a time of 10.37 seconds. I mean, look at the size difference between Metcalf and all the other runners. It's incredible he's this fast at that build. He may not be fit for track and field, but I think he'll be just fine in his current day job. And that's your look at sports. I just want to say a happy Mother's Day to my amazing mom. You're the absolute best. Brandon will lead us the rest of the way when we come back.
Center Point Church in Bowling Green celebrated Mother's Day this morning with several giveaways. Last year, the church had a virtual celebration for mothers and handed out flowers and even gave away a car. This year, every mother received a gift box, and several mothers won giveaways that included an all-paid expense trip to a salon. Center Point also set up a photo booth for people to snap pics with their moms before the service started.
We support local businesses, and we love to do what we can to help the local economy. And so we went to several business owners. There's some stylists here in our church who have donated haircuts and hair colors for moms. And so we're going to be doing some giveaways, some drawings. We've actually been taking nominations for the last few weeks for some special gifts for moms. And so today, every mom's getting something, and then some special moms are going to get a lot of special things.
Again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Tin Roof Coffee is getting ready to celebrate 1 month of opening their mobile coffee shop. According to a Verizon report, Bowling Green ranks number 31 on the list of best places to start a small business like Tin Roof Coffee. The coffee shop turned an old school bus into a mobile coffee shop, and several other local businesses in the area have teamed up with them throughout the past month.
I mean, they've been incredibly welcoming, helpful. They've brought their friends along, so we've had like Papagallo and Lowe's and, you know, several places. They come check on us. They make sure that we're doing well, and they've just helped support us. So.
Yeah, Kohl's has opened up to us here lately, so this can be fantastic. And now Five Below.
Really Five Below has been wonderful too.
It's been a great location,
yeah.
For their hours and locations throughout the week, you can follow Tin Roof Coffee on Instagram and Facebook.
Promotional consideration for 13 News is paid for by the following.
Temperature right now is 55 degrees at the Bowling Green Airport. Overall, we're going to stay dry. Temperatures dipping into those upper 40s by tonight. It looks like a quiet week is ahead. We're going to stay chilly in those mid-60s to kick us off. And Brandon, I know we were talking about Mother's Day. We're both the firstborns.
Raquel, that's right. You know what they say, the firstborn are always the favorites.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you have some brothers and sisters that your mother loves and cares deeply about. Everyone, have a happy Mother's Day. We'll see you back here next weekend on 13 News at 10, Weekend Edition. Stay safe out there.
Wendy's Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit, now $1.99. Wendy's.